Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Kamran Khozan from CVMR Corporation. Kamran, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. It's always nice to meet you.
The last time we spoke, you had just announced a $7 billion critical materials capital fund.
Yes.
Your phone must be ringing off the hook.
Not really, because we had prescribed about $200 million was already sold before we started. And now we have decided to increase the volume from 7 to $42 billion, which means we have to produce some extra bullions to have physical gold backing what we are planning to do.
For those of you out there that may not be familiar with the Critical Materials Capital Fund, would you mind giving us an overview of it?
The idea started with trying to facilitate financing for mid-sized corporations in the mining and refining business. It took off. The idea was timely. So it went beyond what we had imagined. And now it has become a financial institution heavily involved in financing various major projects around the world, mostly in Africa.
Well, that was going to be my next question, which is where in the world, so Africa, primarily in Africa, can you name any of the countries?
Oh, yes, all the major countries that you know better than anybody. But the novel idea is to go where people are afraid to go. Countries where there are some presumed problems. Sahel region starts with Central African Republic, Niger, Chad, Mali, Burkina Faso, those areas.
Your team that you put together for this, it's my understanding you'll be based in New York City and that your board will be approximately 7 people.
That's correct.
If a company wants to go into these regions or is already there and they want to tap into this fund, is there a process for that yet?
The company that actually goes to these regions is CVMR. We are the mining and refining company. The CMFC, based in New York, is the financial backing for what we do. So they don't have to go anywhere. They wear their suits and sit in a nice office, air-conditioned in New York. We are the miserable people that have to trudge the beautiful countrysides of these countries that I mentioned.
What was your catalyst for doing this?
Difficulty of financing projects that are timely, that are needed, especially in the United States. That was the main motivator. Everybody's talking about securing minerals, refining minerals. U.S. is lacking refineries to the level that it needs. The government of the United States, given the political formation of the country, is not able to do what the Chinese do. The government does at times act in financing or pushing certain projects. But in general, it's left to the private sector to do that. And this is a motivator and a little stick to the private sector to go forward and not worry so much about how they get the financing done. This is very different from going to the traditional financial institutions and presenting your feasibility studies and so on. This bypasses the corporation itself and invests the whole thing in the actual assets that we're talking about. So you're not talking about whether a company is well run or not and how it's doing. If you are investing in this, you're investing in the assets in the ground or out already refined.
Right now, the CMI board has actually been deliberating on how the different critical mineral lists are created worldwide. And I know CVMR, you prioritize approximately 36 of the critical minerals.
Yes, but the government of the U.S. is around 54.
So how are you prioritizing them right now? Can you mention some of your favorites? Half a dozen of your favorites, Kamran.
Right now, uranium, antimony, all the heavy rare earth elements, all 8 of them. Nickel, especially nickel and copper. Tantalum, niobium. Those are the run-of-the-mill sort of metals that everybody's after.
Okay, what about beryllium or tungsten, for instance? What's happening with those?
Tungsten is a very important metal. There is a shortage of its refining. It's an expensive metal. It's very important. And the defense industry loves it.
And of course, you are a leader in nickel.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening with nickel right now? It is a critical mineral. Can you tell us a little bit more?
What I can tell you is the news in Canada. Many moons ago, the government allowed a Brazilian company to take over a major nickel supply in Canada. The rumor has it, and I don't know whether it's true or not, that they are divesting themselves of that nickel asset in Canada. So we are very interested to look into that and see if this is true. Then we would be bidding for that. There are some other corporations, of course, around the world that would be interested. Sudbury itself is a very tight community, and there are 2 major suppliers of nickel in that area competing with each other, which is not very efficient. On the other hand, I don't think any government likes to see monopolies in that industry, especially the U.S. doesn't want to do that. If you recall, in the late 60s, 70s, they created Falconbridge in U.S. The head office used to be in New York. It was to compete with Inco. So Inco would not be the giant monopolizing that industry. Today, nickel has come of age. People have realized that although it's a base metal, without it, you cannot have any alloys anywhere. It's used for everything almost. And at MIT, there is some research done that maybe nickel can substitute some of the rare earth elements if it's treated properly.
In Africa, what's one of your favorite countries to do business in right now?
South Africa, Congo, Burundi, Botswana, Central African Republic, Chad. Those are the good ones.
With the disruptive news, of course, about the $42 billion critical materials fund that you announced recently, what should we anticipate next, Kamran?
Oh, God. We are moving. Gold is something that everybody understands, likes, and it's the backing of many currencies in the future, whether we like it or not. We're going back in history. Tokenization of it is happening, and we will look at it as a totally different element than it is today. Silver is something that everybody's ignored. Especially the central banks around the world have ignored silver. Just have a look at the price of silver, what's happened in the recent years. I think silver and PGMs, platinum group of metals, will come of age as well as nickel. These will be the basis on which other tokenization platforms will be functioning. What is happening in the United States with the current administration is fascinating. Tokenization, stable currencies, stable coins. It's a great movement away from fiat US dollars into something that can save the treasury of the country and maybe damage those who hold trillions of dollars worth of treasury bonds, such as China, Russia, and so on. It's a great movement in that direction. Whether it's going to pan out the way we suspect or not, I cannot tell you. But I think we are going in the right direction. What we are doing is timely. And I think the world has received our gestures with enthusiasm.
I am absolutely certain you're going to want to find out more. So please go to the following website where there is an amazing library of videos explaining this from Kamran Khozan. Thank you, Kamran.
You're welcome. Thank you.